Star Report. I'm your host, Star. Welcome to the show. It's Monday evening, and I want to talk about Druski becoming the youngest host in BET Awards history. I have no problem with this young man. I can't say that I know his full catalog, but I've seen many of his videos, like yourself. 31 years of age, he has just surpassed Kevin Hart, who previously held the title as the youngest BET Awards host back in 2011. Okay, I'm gonna play one or two videos. I did not watch the award show. I don't watch BET. I don't think I have tuned into BET since the days of Uncut. But I watched a couple of clips. I want to, play them. And, let's have a healthy discussion. Also, Tiana Taylor. Tiana Taylor won some type of Icon of the Year award. Janet Jackson presented the award to her. Icon of the Year. Now, an Icon award used to mean like, an iconic achievement for, years collected, But I guess things are different. So now you've got people who just randomly call other people a GOAT and an Icon of the Year. Okay. We may or may not play that, pardon me. Guys, also, Ja Morant traded to Portland Trail Blazers. Does anybody care? Is Ja Morant washed? Is he washed? He hasn't been playing for the last 2 years. I guess injuries and some other things. Suspension, I'm guessing. I don't know. But he has been traded. And I saw something earlier. Please do not tell me LeBron James is going to the Warriors. I don't want LeBron James playing with Steph Curry. Good evening, troll babies. Please tell me that's a rumor. Oh, my goodness. Why doesn't he just retire? Anyway, so those are some of the things we will be discussing this evening. And coming up a little bit later, the Star Report is all about race because America is all about race. I want to play something for you guys. Not that you have to know, but I think now more than ever, one of my responsibilities, if you will, is to try and educate the younger generation. You don't have to know a lot about history and things that may or may not be of importance to you. But I do think it's the job, possibly the duty of the older generation to present things to you. That makes sense, okay? So a little bit later, we're going to talk about Ernie Chambers and a monumental documentary, Once Upon a Time, which some of you should know of. If you don't, that's fine. But Ernie Chambers, and I'm going to play some video footage from him as well, okay? All right, let's get down to business here. Druski, I'm going to play some of these videos. I don't know if it's going to be a copyright issue, but he opened up the award ceremony, and, I would imagine this is his first time hosting something of this magnitude. Yes, no? Okay, so that's the first clip. I did not see, however, I caught wind. Oh, my goodness. Keke Palmer hating on Druski. Let me look in the live chat. Phone lines are open early, very early. I don't know too much about Kehlani's music. What I have heard didn't really knock me out. But then again, it's for you younger people. Any Kehlani fans, supporters in the live chat? Frankie G. It's Frankie G, my nigga, okay? Good to see you, sir. Yeah, listen, I am the objective hater. I'm not a player hater, so I'm not going to hate just to hate, I didn't watch it. I'm watching these things with you here now. Troll Baby 919 says, I don't think black entertainers hold the same prestige that they once held. Sir, I don't think anything has the same prestige. It's all one big cesspool. Okay, Lizzo performed. Oh, we're going to get to Lizzo's new album selling less than 3,000 units the first week. Wow. We'll get to that shortly, okay? All right. Anybody want to tap in before I go to the video about Ja Morant? Ja Morant traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. I can't say that I'm, care one way or the other. I just don't want to see LeBron James go to the Warriors. Hey, is anybody out there? Sam, I analyze. Are you out there, sir? I know Florida Boy Jay is he's busy tonight. Anybody want to call in and give me a sports breakdown? Boris, the most high, left-handed. Okay. All right. Let me play a little bit of this with regards to Ja Morant. Where is that video? Hold on a second, guys. I'm sorry. You know what? It's on my notes. Give me a second. I thought it was on my email thread, but it's not. Here we go. Ja Morant traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. Breaking news. I just need to know if he's washed. Is this even a matter of concern now for Ja Morant, who, as you should know, he was suspended a bunch of times for getting caught with firearms, mimicking all sorts of violent acts. Not that he committed any, but, mimicking them, okay? Here we go.
Again with breaking news on the happy hour edition of Sports at Matt Berry, Shams Charania, NBA insider. Flurry of activity in the last 30 or so minutes, starting with a pretty big trade of what once was one of the league's premier young players. What can you tell us?
That two-time NBA All-Star Ja Morant has been traded to the Portland Trail Blazers for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. This trade pairs Ja Morant and Damian Lillard together in Portland. This is a high upside swing for the Trailblazers. Ja Morant's value across the league in trades with the Grizzlies had just plummeted. But Blazers officials spoke to Ja Morant a short time ago. I'm told Ja Morant told him he's excited to be in Portland now. From a basketball fit, though, this now has Ja Morant, Damian Lillard, Scoot Henderson, Drew Holiday in the backcourt. So as far as where the basketball is going to go, who's going to get the shots, who's going to get the opportunities between those four guards, Denny Avdia, Shaedon Sharpe, they've got a lot of players that are capable with the ball in their hands. But Ja Morant, his era, his tenure now is over in Memphis. We've seen over the last calendar year, right? Desmond Bane was the first to go for a bevy of picks. Jaren Jackson Jr. exited Memphis as well for a bevy of picks at the deadline. And now Ja Morant gets a package. Jeremy Grant is a versatile two-way forward. Chris Murray's a young player. But considering what they got for Desmond Bane, considering what they got for Jaren Jackson Jr., they tried to make the best out of the situation. Now Jeremy Grant will go there, see what he can do with that young Grizzlies team. They are turning the page fully with young players and assets. Ja Morant on his way to Portland.
Does this move begot another move for Portland?
I purposely wanted to play somebody else other than Stephen A. Smith talking about the Ja Morant trade. So just bear with me. These guys are okay. I've watched them in the past. Boris, are you out there? Do you want to comment, Boris?
Do you think this is setting up potentially something for them to do as NBA free agency looms tomorrow?
This was their big move as of right now. My understanding is they're not involved with Jaylen Brown. They made attempts with Giannis Antetokounmpo, obviously didn't land him. Right. But this is a Blazers team. They've got young players, like some of the ones I've just mentioned, Scoot Henderson, Denny Avdia, Donovan Clingan. They've got a ton of draft picks. They've got some of Milwaukee's picks and swaps as well. If they want to go get a landmark star, if they wanted to go get a Jaylen Brown, they would have the necessary package to do so. So Joe Cronin, the general manager, has built a talented team with a ton of assets where they have flexibility moving forward. But right now, they view Ja Morant as a talent, high upside swing. It's an infusion immediately. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that change of scenery goes for Ja. As I said at the top of the show, this guy was once one of the league's premier young players. We'll see if that can help him going into Portland. The one thing we talked about once the Knicks ended that 53-year drought, won a championship, it would be expensive to retain some of that roster, but there were moves that they had to make to get it done. What can you tell us about that?
Landry Shamet, their key forward, swingman, sharpshooter, 4 years, 20.
Be jumping there for a second. Guys, members only tonight. Thank you for being a member. So I'm going to be responding to some of your questions, during the show here. You cut out the middleman, Stephen A. Smith. Yes. Listen, since the Knicks won the championship, I repeat, since the Knicks won the championship, there's just not a lot I want to hear from Stephen A. Smith. He's just, I don't know, he was wrong, and not only was he wrong, but hold on a second. But I just don't want to give him any light right now. I think he needs to eat crow for the next month or so. But we'll go back to him.
$4 million deal to go back to the New York Knicks. This was important for them. They had to fend off potential suitors that were coming in free agency on July 1. My understanding was Landry Fields was going to get several teams, potentially even higher than $24 million to come in. But Landry Shamet wanted to be back with the Knicks. We know they're the reigning NBA champions. He played a big role there. He got really close with all of their stars. Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart. They all got very tight. Landry Shamet, a part of that.
Okay, well, why does this guy keep stuttering and stumbling and stalling? I was trying to give him a chance, but come on, man, just finish up here.
He's locked in long term.
We talk about it all the time with these championship teams. It's the role players that sometimes the glue that holds the entire thing together. So that was our breaking news on SportsCenter. Time now to get to our starting five. And number one on our starting five at 5. And I want you to listen to this one. The Warriors are reportedly going to make a run for LeBron and Anthony Davis. This
oh my God!
Because Draymond opted out of his $27.7 million player option at today's deadline to do so. LeBron is a free agent, but AD would require that trade with the Wizards. We talked about this on SportsCenter today. Huge news. What else can you share about Golden State's intentions?
Oh my God.
So you can dream, you can plan all you want, but you need stuff to materialize. You need stuff to go down.
Let me jump in here for a second. Members only, guys. Do the Warriors want LeBron James? I hate to even ask. Do they want him? Do they need him? Oh my God.
In order for you to go pursue that.
Lawrence, where are you?
Draymond Green declining his $27.7 million player option does just that. It allows the Warriors to position themselves to go out and see. First, can they get LeBron James' commitment? Can they trade for Anthony Davis? Because my understanding is those two guys in either order would have to be a package deal. The Warriors would not be trading for AD without a understanding, a commitment from LeBron, and vice versa. So right now, how the sequencing of events would play out is Draymond Green, instead of the $27.7 million, he would come in at a lesser number, multiple years. Anthony Davis, it would be some sort of a Jimmy Butler plus draft compensation trade with the Wizards.
Right.
And then LeBron James would then slide in potentially with their mid-level exception of around $15 million. Joe Lacob has targeted a bunch of big players over the years. They captured Kevin Durant in that coup in 2016. So they've got their eyes set on trying to make a dent in this offseason with potentially 2 Hall of Fame names.
Let's go to
Okay, that's enough of that. All right, so based upon my research, it's not official. They have not brought LeBron James to the Warriors. Please keep me posted. That's my email address on the screen. Guys, please hit the like button. Last night's show, because of that Big Tigger video, it's age restricted, okay? So hitting the like button is very, very important. Let me just say that right now, okay? It's my email address on the screen. All right, thank you for your support early. Let me go to some of the cash apps here. Hey, Penelope, good to hear from you. There he is, Sam. He says, get ready to call in. Yes, Sam. There he is, Sam I Analyze. Let's talk sports. Eric, good to see you, sir. Salute. Thank you so much for your support. James, good to see you, sir. He says, supporting the machine. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So whilst we're waiting for Sam I Analyze to call in, I'm sipping on a Corona tonight. Sam, text me if you have any problems with the phone, any issues at all. Oh, and Rory, I got your email. Troll babies, please also utilize my email for any updates on Muslims and other people fighting and literally shooting and stabbing in the streets of Ireland. Let me look in that live chat. Gangster of love, salute. Anything that goes on in Ireland, please keep me in the loop, okay? All right, so I'm going to wait for Sam before I play the next video. I'm not interested in, hold on a second. Okay, Florida Boy Jay said he's calling as well. Okay. Says he just got back in town, FBJ. Okay, area code 416. You're calling in from Canada. Good evening. Please watch the language. 416.
Shalom, Star. Frank E.G. on the check-in, man.
Frank E.G., my nigga. How are you, man? What's cracking?
My nigga, man, I'm chilling, man.
Nigga.
It's hotter than hell over here, man.
Really?
But, yeah. I just wanted to just, show some respect and call in on the members only show.
Okay.
Dropped a little something in the donation box.
Salute.
I was wondering if I can make a comment about Big Tigger. I know you don't like to go back or not.
Well, I mean, listen, it's all out there. I don't even know if he's still on the radio, but I'll go back for you. You are a member. What do you got? Any new details? What do you got?
Appreciate you. No, I saw a lot of people willing to kick his back in, right? But I saw that video clip yesterday with Wifey, and we both kind of thought the same thing. That it kind of looked like, it didn't look like an assault to me. It looked like he was just trying to remove her from the home. The problem for him is going to be in court when her lawyers say, well, she says, let go of me and don't touch me. And then he still has his hands on her and is physically, imposing himself on her. That's what I think. I don't think that.
Well, yeah, Frankie G, I'm going to cut you short because what we're not going to do tonight is argue again about what Tigger is going through.
Right.
My whole point yesterday, and I'll repeat it for you. My whole point was when you're married. When you're married, yeah, he's too old to be fighting with his wife over a phone. Don't you think? I mean, I
agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's way too old to be acting like that. He doesn't have to. Yeah, that's something you do when you're
20s and 30s fighting over a phone. Come on, man. So yeah. So people are kicking his back in, and I think they have a right to. When you're on that morning radio in that chair, and you're trying to dictate to other people what they shouldn't do, and then you come back and you lie yourself. That's the issue. Well, listen, I don't want to waste time on Big Tigger. Anything with regards to Druski? Did you watch the BET Awards show? Frankie G.
Nah, I didn't see it, Star. That's all I got for you, Star. Yeah, I'm not watching that trash, man. That was some goy slop. I saw going on. Right. I don't want to touch on that, man. I just wanted to say salute, Star.
Salute,
my nigga.
My nigga. Okay, Frankie G tapping him. Okay, here's the guy who I really need to talk to. Sam, I Analyze. You're on YouTube. You are lit. Have we spoke since the Knicks won, Sam?
No, we haven't. We actually didn't.
Listen, man.
I think we spoke.
I'm still in amazement.
Same here.
Amazed.
Same here. Same here. They really did it. So
they did it.
They really did it.
Come on. Sam, I Analyze. Come on.
And it's going to be fun to see what happens on Wednesday. July 1st is the beginning of free agency. They got Landry Shamet back. Okay. They got Alvarado back.
Okay.
And another big piece who really didn't play in the playoffs is Mo Diawara. I think this kid is going to be special for this team going forward. Mm-hmm. And it looks like they're going to lose Mitchell Robinson. But we'll see what happens.
Well, let me just say this. I, like many other people, we just came around again. So, in the technical sense, bandwagon people, and I'm fine with that because I gave up on the Knicks decades ago. Whatever happens with free agency and the draft, I'm not even considering that right now. That's for you guys, the professionals. You're really great at that, all the details. I salute you. But I'm going to be on a high all summer still that the Knicks won a goddamn championship. I'm still in shock. That's the word. I'm in shock.
No question about it. I think Knicks fans, I think until the beginning of the season, I think they're going to be on a high. Yeah. And until the Knicks are dethroned, the Knicks are the champions.
Sam, I don't care if they lose for the next 5 years. They won one championship.
No question, Star. Something that a lot of people thought would never happen. Never happen.
There you go. Hey, so listen, this is your world. Basketball, baseball, football. You're on YouTube. Sam, I Analyze. Please break down this Ja Morant trade. Is it a big deal? Is he finished? And I hope that LeBron James is not going to the Warriors. Please, Sam, I Analyze.
Okay, so when it comes to Ja Morant, how the mighty have fallen. This was a guy who was supposed to be one of the faces of the NBA. the guy who was, it was supposed to be him. It was supposed to be Zion. They were supposed to take over as the faces of the NBA for the Steph Currys and LeBron James of the world.
Okay.
When you look at what happened today, Ja Morant was traded. This is an all-star, a former all-star, traded away for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray, right? And this is a guy that I don't think he knew what he had in his hands, right? Okay. And I applaud Portland. They took a shot at him. This is a guy, if you can get his mind right, he can get back to being an all-star, an all-NBA type of talent. But he just doesn't get it, right? In March of 2023, he got in trouble for holding a gun, and then a few months later, he was suspended for that 25 games 2 months later for doing that. And then I think it was in these playoffs. Let me not say, because I don't remember if it was him throwing a grenade or acting,
right.
from the sideline. But he just doesn't respect any fines or penalties. And look, if anybody's going to get him right, you hope it's going to be Dame Lillard and company over there. But this is his last chance, I think. As young as he
can, I jump in right there, Sam?
Chance.
Can I jump in? As crazy as he is, and I forgot about the grenade thing, I think he's got a fun personality. I think he's a likable guy. Has he done some stupid stuff? Yes. But it's not like he's somebody who, you don't want to be around. He's young. He's somewhat goofy. He seems to be, unless you tell me different, a likable guy. Do his teammates like him?
He comes across very likable. I think so. I think they like him. I just think his antics have gotten him in trouble.
And
if you look, he was solid this past season. I mean, 19 points a game, 8 assists. I mean, he's still a solid talent. He's just very immature and doesn't get what he has. And I don't know if he doesn't realize that, the NBA, you're not over the NBA. If they want you gone, then this could be his last chance. Yeah. He's only 26 years young. He's going to be 27 on August 10th.
He's a baby.
Right. So he's got to get it together.
Yeah. I forgot about that grenade thing. That was crazy.
How about 2 months later when he got in trouble again? I thought it was like old news, and I'm like, what is this coming up on my feed?
Right.
And then I'm like, he did it again?
Yeah.
In less than in 2 months, he just doesn't get it. Very mature.
No problem with drugs, though. No problem with drugs.
Not that I've ever seen, unless I'm forgetting something. No, I mean and that's the thing. A lot of people say he grew up. He went to a private school and everything like that, and he gets to the league and this is where he wants to chase. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people blame his father. They say his father is more of his friend, and that's not my business to get involved in that. Right. A lot of people say that he's not really helping his case.
Was his father the one who wanted to shoot the fade with Uncle Shay? Was that him?
Shannon Sharp. Yes. That was T. Morant. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Uncle Shay. So. Hey, girl. Anyway. All right. So, again, guys, I'm talking to Sam I Analyze on YouTube. He gives great commentary, stats, data, and breakdowns. What's going on with Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James?
Okay, so the reports are saying that right now, LeBron James feels a little slighted because he has not. I mean, there has been no conversations yet on any extension with the Lakers. Okay. Right, and it looks like Golden State has a master plan to sign LeBron James and Anthony Davis through a trade with the Wizards,
Okay.
and then they would also get Draymond Green back, who basically declined his offer, or he declined an offer today, which will allow them to do all of that. Now, do they get this done? I think it's possible. LeBron James would take what, a mid-level at this point. He's worth over $1 billion. I mean, again, I don't get in people's wallets and bank accounts, but I mean, does he need the money at this point? I don't think so. So I could definitely see it happening, but a lot of things have to fall in line for that to happen. Now with Kawhi Leonard,
hang on a second, Sam. Can I jump in?
Absolutely.
I have no proof. There have been accusations, but do you think that LeBron James is on any type of performance enhancement or enhancing drugs?
I'll tell you what. Did that come to mind years ago when he played with Miami? I questioned it, but unless there's proof, you can never accuse anyone of it. Yeah, but I'll tell you this. This guy has to be the GOAT when it comes to longevity. He spends over $1 million on his physique and his health. So you got to give him a lot of credit.
Let me say this, man. Have you ever heard of Pharmacist 300 and Pharmacist 500?
No.
I'm 62. Well, when I take a shot of Pharmacist 300, look out. I feel like I'm in my 40s and I can smash a chick. I mean, not that I want to smash a chick for 8 or 9 minutes, but it's just like, whoa, it's crazy. And I can only imagine professional athletes who have to produce, they've got to take something, whether it's B12 injections, something that is, you can't detect it. Again, I have no proof about LeBron James. I'm not trying to get sued, but I just had to say that. Anyway, you want to speak about Kawhi Leonard, you said.
Kawhi Leonard, it's when I saw this, I was like, wow, possibly returning to the Raptors. It's going to be very interesting. The thing is, Kawhi Leonard celebrated his 35th birthday today.
Okay.
So that's a lot. That's a lot to consider giving up young talent and draft picks for 35 years young Kawhi Leonard at this point in his career. Now, he's had a resurgence in the last 2 seasons, maybe season and a half. But because of his injury history and things like that, the Raptors have to be very careful on how they move here. Giving away possibly.
Did he luck up on a ring? I've never seen him as that guy, Kawhi Leonard, and he's got that goofy laugh. Did he luck up on a ring? How did he get a ring? Did I miss something?
Well, he got a ring with the Spurs years ago. He was the MVP. I think the last Spurs championship, Kawhi Leonard was part of it, and with the Spurs. And then when they beat the injured Golden State Warriors, he was a major part of that. So he won in 2014, and he won in 2019 with Toronto.
Oh wow!
That's one.
So he's got 2 rings. I didn't know that.
He's got 2 championships. Yes, they beat Miami 4-1 with the Spurs, and then he won the Finals MVP in 2014.
I stand corrected.
And then he won it in 2019.
I stand corrected. Okay. Hey,
so
Matt,
he's a winner.
Hey, Matt. Before you go, now I'm not trying to dismiss Draymond Green, but in my mind, one of the greatest. Pardon me, the greatest rebounder and defensive players, Draymond Green gets a lot of goddamn props, no ifs, ands, or buts, but am I crazy to say that Dennis Rodman is the best at his position ever?
Oh, no question about it. No question about it.
Wow.
I think I applaud Draymond for everything, his work ethic and his, being a second round pick it was and just making a name for himself. But just Dennis Rodman, the 20 rebound games and just the guy guarded Shaq. And
I
Shaq
was just about to say,
is one of.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you short.
Go ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
watching old video footage of Shaq and Dennis Rodman. He was going head up with Shaq, and sometimes he would laugh. He would never get mad, and he was brutal. I just had to say that. But good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Good.
No question about it. I mean, if you saw Draymond Green versus Rodman, I don't even think it's close, to be honest with you.
Okay.
He really changed games, and just his ability. He got in people's heads. Where Draymond, I feel, loses himself a lot. But I mean, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and his story is one that, obviously is going to be, he will be in the Hall, but I'm not taking Draymond over Rodman.
Okay.
Ever.
Hey man, I appreciate you. Tell people about your platform, how often you post content, please. Semi-analyze.
I'm Sam I Analyze on YouTube. I post right now. Heavy Knicks free agency is coming up. I just dropped a video on the fact that they may lose Landry Shamet, which has since been debunked because he's back. Okay. But I did, speak on Mitchell Robinson, and I did put in my community tab a follow up on the Shamet, ESPN link, so your listeners can go listen to the video.
Absolutely.
And support.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Sam I Analyze on YouTube. Okay, I see a couple of people are laughing when I said I can go 8 to 9 minutes. Yes, on the pharmacist. I've always said I'm a proud 2.5-minute brother. I'm well endowed, TMI, but I've always been a selfish person, and I've been, selfish sexually, and I can admit to that. Most of my girlfriends have left me. Some of them said, "Hey, you're not hitting. What did they say? You're not hitting the bottom. You're not ripping it out the frame." Salute to people who help a woman find the G spot. I'm not that guy. Fuck out of here. Sir Shy, I got your donation. Thank you, sir. He says, breaking news. LeBron to the 76ers. You got to be kidding me, Sir Shy. You got to be kidding. The Most High, can you confirm? Rob Lowe, can anyone confirm, Sir Shy? Are you trolling? He sent in a cash app. He says LeBron to the 76ers. Jalen to the Knicks. Stop everything. Florida boy Jay, where are you? You got to be kidding me. Is Sir Shy trolling? Sir Shy, can you call in? He's Ben Skrilla, so I'm going to read it. Oh, my goodness. This has got to be break. Deeds, can you check, please? LeBron James to the 76ers. The Most High says no, sir. Okay, so Sir Shy is trolling. Everybody, hold on. Deed says he's trolling. Okay. All right. Okay, we got to handle some other business here this evening. Hold on. We're going to come back to Lizzo shortly. We've got 2 mammies somewhere out there in Seattle. They've been arrested because they were doing part of the Young Miami Spend That Challenge. Young Miami's new song, from what I'm hearing, and I heard the track, she's got the streets on fire. And you got these 2 mammies that just got caught up stunting on the gram. And they brought law enforcement right to them. Thank you, Jesus. Here we go.
One of the most prolific organized retail thieves in Western Washington is facing new charges. Janice Downs, a.k.a. Jenny Smith, a.k.a. Punchy, is back in jail after just getting released from prison in January. Bellevue police say one of the best clues came from a TikTok video made to Young Miami's viral song Spin Dat about boosting and scamming. Bellevue police say this video shows Janice Wiley holding 2 stolen Louis Vuitton purses. It was posted 5 days after detectives say her daughter, Janice Downs, and an unidentified suspect stole the bags worth more than $7,000 from Nordstrom in downtown Seattle. And 2 days after Downs showed the purses on her Instagram account.
Okay. She's a prolific, organized career theft criminal, and so we're very familiar with her.
That's because Bellevue PD Special Enforcement Team busted Downs and her mom 2 years ago for a major organized retail.
Wait, hold on a second.
Enforcement team busted.
Look at that. Look at that high yellow mammy smiling. The worst mammy is a high yellow mammy. Look at her. It's nothing to her.
Downs and her mom 2 years ago for a major organized retail crime spree. They were accused of stealing more than $500,000 worth of Lululemon clothing. Downs pleaded guilty to 6 counts of organized retail theft. She was sentenced to 33 months in prison with 501 days credit for time served and was released in January. Bellevue PD Captain Landon Barnwell says just 4 months later, Downs was back to her old ways.
You would think that, after what she experienced in 2024, that, hey, that maybe, she would change what she's doing. But again, clearly she hasn't chosen to do that.
Court documents show Bellevue PD Detective Jeff Christensen recognized Downs in a bulletin sent out by Tukwila Police showing thieves stealing almost $4,000 worth of fragrances from Macy's. See the shower cap she's wearing? He had a similar photo of her from his case 2 years ago. Working with their regional law enforcement partners, he says he then identified Downs in similar thefts at the Macy's in Tacoma and the downtown Seattle Nordstrom.
People don't just commit crimes in one location, right? I mean, especially when it comes to, the retail theft related crimes, right? They bounce around to many of the retailers in this entire area.
In the Nordstrom theft, detectives say surveillance video shows Downs wearing a burqa as a disguise. Detectives say the surveillance video shows how Downs and her accomplice cooperated to steal the purses, distracting the clerk by asking to see other bags on the shelves behind him. When he turned his back, watch as the accomplice smoothly slips the handles of one of the purses over her arm. After he shows them a second bag, he puts it back on the shelf. When he went to the front sales counter, police say Downs walked over, made sure he wasn't looking, and grabbed the purse, then held it down low on the right side of her body, opposite over where the clerk was standing. Her accomplice then moves over next to her, takes the handbag, and exits the store with both of the stolen.
The high yellow mammy lives by the moniker, I don't give a fuck. And you can see she doesn't.
Purses. A few seconds later, Downs follows her out. On June 12th, Bellevue police arrested Downs and her mom. Detectives located them in the parking lot of Westfield South Center Mall. Court documents note that Downs was wearing the same burqa, black-colored sandals, and her white-painted toes matched her appearance from the Nordstrom theft.
We will hold you accountable, and we're not going to tolerate people that commit crimes here in our community.
Ma'am, is your true and correct name Janice Smith, a.k.a. Janice Downs?
We'll stipulate to name and date of birth for purposes of arraignment.
In court, King County prosecutors charged Downs with organized retail theft in the first degree. Her defense attorney asked the judge not to allow our camera to show her client's face.
And I do want to ask the court to not allow the media to film in order to preserve Ms. Smith's right to a fair trial. Our position is that allowing the media to film increases the...
She probably told her lawyer to, request that so she can continue stealing. Bitch, you know what it is.
Likelihood of taking a jury pool if this were to go to trial. Of course, the jury would be instructed to not do any research on their own. However, there's nothing that the court can do to prevent them from doing that. And if there is media allowed to report on the story, I think it would just increase the likelihood that somebody would either intentionally or accidentally come across the story and read about the alleged charges here.
Wait, so are you asking for an order just not to film, or that they not be allowed to report on it?
My request,
Because that's a prior restraint that the court just cannot do in any case for any reason.
My request, to be clear, was just to not allow the media to film Ms. Smith. If the court is inclined to allow the media to film, our alternative request is to require that the media be instructed to only film Ms. Smith from the shoulders down.
Understood. Thank you.
Judge Joe Campagna
So to the lawyer, she's arguing on behalf of the mammy.
denied her motion.
The media has a right to be here and to film. I don't find that there's anything particular about this case that would warrant the court restricting that for this hearing and in this case. But certainly, as I said, you can explore all those topics if and when this matter is called for trial.
Downs remains in jail on $215,000 bail. $75,000 of that is for a fugitive warrant out of Oregon. She's charged there with 16 counts of organized retail theft, aggravated theft, and theft.
At the end of the day, we're hoping that we're preventing crime here in Bellevue because, we know it's not a matter of if they're going to come to Bellevue, it's when.
As for her mom, Janice Wiley, she posted $50,000 bail and was released. Her case from the Lululemon thefts in 2024 is still pending trial.
Spend that shit. Spend that shit. Oh, there he is, my nigga Florida boy Jay tapping in.
Hey man, we got the Mammy anthem going crazy this summer. We getting out of pocket, going live on the gram.
Yeah,
hitting the jigaboo and the boogaloo.
Yeah.
With the stolen bag. Self-sufficient at its finest. The warm Mammy continues. Star.
What's
going on?
And especially the high yellow mammies, they feel entitled. So I don't even want to be filmed. But anyway, how you, man? What's going on with you?
I'm good, man. We just laugh at these high cholesterol, high yellow big back mammies out here getting hit with the full extent of the law. I'm just coming back from Tampa. I had to go catch the Yeezy show.
Okay.
It was monumental. It was awesome. It was a movie. It's on my Instagram if anybody want to go check it out. But yeah, man, he was on the globe, fireworks, crazy star, crazy.
Well, send me the link via email when you get time so I can put it in my community section. Hey, hold on a second. Hold on. Hey, Boris, can you hold on? Stay right there, Boris.
Здравствуйте, старик. Как дела?
Okay, all right. Hold on, Boris. Florida boy Jay, back to you. Okay, Druski has become the youngest host in BET Awards history. I saw some of the clips. I'm not mad at that young man. I think he's talented. I'm glad that other, older entertainers have been pushed out, if you will. Did you see any of the BET Awards, Florida boy Jay?
I've seen the highlights online. The BET Awards have fell so far from the days where, like, the first one, my whole family got together at my auntie's house and watched it. Like, gone are the days where they're bringing out James Brown and James Brown is bringing out Michael Jackson, or Prince and Shaka Khan are performing on stage together, or Maxwell comes out for the first time and we didn't even know it was Maxwell until he started singing. They had the BET Awards this year in a abandoned parking lot, man. The budget is down. We got to give salute to Druski because he's literally guiding a dying ship right now. He's funny. I loved the new, because Druski usually drops one skit like once a month.
Right.
I loved the Joe Jackson skit. I was crying in tears when he did the Joe Jackson parody skit. Pulling out the belt. The kid said, "Dad, can we have ice cream?" Nigga pulled out the belt at the dinner table. I'm telling you, Druski is our generation. Now, I'm not gonna say he's our generation's Dave Chappelle or Paul Mooney or anything like that. But as far as how we consume comedy, there's nobody bigger than Druski. And I think I can speak for a lot of people that say we all want Druski to win, and we're happy he's winning. And
hold on a second, Florida boy Jay. Thank you, Stacy Glow. That's a very good point. I didn't know that. So he's the first digital creator to host the BET Awards as well. Okay. Well, yeah, man. I'm giving him a shot, and I don't know his full body of work, but I'm it's not that I'm gonna watch the awards ceremony next year, but I wasn't mad. Okay, so I guess it's just back to business. Did you see some guy named well, not some guy, Jake Lang was out there protesting? Did you see him getting two-pieced in the streets?
He got cut the two-piece, got ran down on. His fat, out of shape security guard was on all fours.
Yep.
Some YN put the paws on him, dropped him on his knees. They ran down. He tried to stall going to the World Cup, trying to harass the Jeeps and the Muslims, over there, sitting there with a fanny pack, trying to prolong the beatdown. Finally pulled up, and a salute to the California FBAs, because no tether doing no work. So salute to the California FBAs putting hands and feet on Ofe.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So. All right. Anything with regards to Ja Morant being traded to the Portland Trail Blazers? Florida boy Jay.
Yes. I want to say, just like the BET Awards is like Ja Morant. What a fall from grace. You were the next up. You were the next AI. You had the hottest shoe in the game. You had the young team, the NBA was, and this is what a lot of these young players don't understand, is that the NBA puts you on the world stage, and it's like a world interview, just like with what's his name? Victor Wembanyama.
Okay.
Before the finals, everybody loved him. The way he behaved during the finals in the playoff run, he has formed enemies, and I feel like he's failed his world stage run. With Ja Morant, he now went to the Trailblazers for a bag of chips and a bowl of oat grits. They sent him to NBA Siberia. You will not see a Ja Morant nationally televised game. He is now off to the gallows. He has fumbled his opportunity as not only the face of the NBA, but the Black American face of the NBA. And I think this should be a learning lesson for all athletes, for all up-and-coming people with a gift. And if you have a father that is more like T. Morant and less like Joe Jackson, you should emancipate yourself and get rid of your father. Your father should not be on the sidelines twerking, waving the diamond chains around, doing the boogaloo. No, T. Morant, Ja Morant, they need to be put out the NBA, and they're lucky they're giving him the last shot with the Trailblazers. I don't want Ja Morant.
Can I jump in?
Yes, sir.
Can I jump in? Without knowing Ja Morant's full pedigree, I think he's still young. I mean, if he's not hurt too bad, he can turn things around. And I'm not tripping on just the NBA. I think there's other things for him to do, such as China. Correct me if I'm wrong. China is paying big money for not just former NBA players, but aren't they picking some of the guys who didn't make it to the NBA out and bringing them over there? Yes, no?
Absolutely. China, Israel, Turkey,
okay,
France. A lot of these basketball.
I say that because I don't want to just condemn the young guy, and I like that he's got a father. His father may be doing the most at times, but I like the fact that his father's in his life, so I don't think he's necessarily washed. Can you hang on, or can we bring Boris in so we can really talk about this a little more? You got time or what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Boris, I didn't want to keep you on hold, man. How are you? Good evening, Boris.
What is going on, sir? I heard you mention my name 3 times like Beetlejuice, so I had to make an appearance.
Florida boy Jay is on the line with us. I was kind of surprised that the Memphis Grizzlies got rid of Ja Morant, but here we are, and I can't understand why LeBron James is still in the NBA. Can you give us any clarity, please?
Yes, well, I was not surprised about the trade for Ja Morant because it was written in the books.
Okay.
They have broken the nucleus of Dylan Brooks, Dylan the villain, who is now with the Suns. And they sent Jaren Jackson Jr., I believe, to Utah. And then they also got rid of Ja Morant. So basically, and Desmond Bain.
Okay.
So the whole team that was giving LeBron James a hard time. If you remember, I think it was in 2023 when Dylan Brooks said to a news reporter or a journalist, that he does not respect anyone unless they give him 40. and then LeBron James gave him 40 or something close to that. Now, to get back to Ja Morant, he went to Portland, and now Portland will not be known as Trailblazers; they will be known as Jailblazers.
Oh, wow!
Because this man has played in the last 3 seasons 79 games, not for health reasons, because of disciplinary action. He does not know how to behave. You know, as Sam I analyzed it before, he was the next coming. He was supposed to be the face of the league along with Zion. I remember there was a discussion between who was the better draft, between him and Zion. And for a very short time, it was him because Zion could not get in shape. He was overweight.
Okay.
But when I think of Ja Morant, I think of a combination between Allen Iverson and Stevie Franchise, a.k.a. Steve Francis.
Okay.
He has the wannabe disposition of AI. He thinks he's a rapper. You know, as they say, rappers want to be bowlers, bowlers want to be rappers.
Right.
But his career is heading towards the trajectory of Stevie Franchise. Because Steve Francis, by the time he was 30 years old, he was out of the league. He was battling with alcohol problems, and he became a shell of himself when he lost his athleticism. If you remember, Star.
Well, hold on a second. Before you go into that direction, Florida Boy Jay is still with us. He says Ja Morant is a big disappointment. I'm paraphrasing Florida Boy Jay. I think he's still got time to get it together. I don't know. You guys can enlighten me. Will the Trailblazers be a little more lenient to his young, immature behavior?
Yes, I think that the Trailblazers, they bought low because to get rid of Jeremy Grant on an expiring contract and get rid of a player that was not even in your rotation, they're clearly, and they did not give any picks for him. So you know that it was a low risk with potential high reward.
Okay.
But it's a big if because although, like Sam said before, he was averaging 19 points, yes, on what shooting? This guy shot a career low 41% from the field and 21% from 3. So he is big trash. Right. And you're taking him and you're putting him in a system with Denny Avdia, two non-shooters. You're coming to a guard-heavy team in Portland. They have an aging Damian Lillard coming from an Achilles, I believe.
Hold on a second, Boris. Florida Boy Jay, can you jump in there with regards to what Boris just said, and or do you still stand on what you said about Ja Morant? He's a disappointment. Can he get it together?
I like, even if Boris playing devil's advocate, Boris is correct when he wants to come out to the Portland Financials, trading somebody who wasn't a part of the rotation for somebody like Ja Morant, buying him low. You still having Dame Lillard on that team for the culture. He's going to be coming back. My thing with Ja Morant, which I'm not disagreeing with anything that Boris is saying.
Okay.
I'm stating the fact that they had a championship contending team with Memphis, and Memphis tore it apart. Ja Morant had multiple opportunities to straighten up his image, or at least, like I said before, it's not about if he can average 20, 30 points in Portland, just like with LaMelo Ball, just like with a lot of other athletes. If you fail the test, the litmus test for the NBA to make you a face, you can average 40. They don't care. We're not going to put you on the team. We're not going to trade players to your team, and we're not going to put you in position for the world stage to contend for a title. I think he blew that opportunity, and I think that's why he will be rotting on the Trailblazers until he decides to hang it up.
If I can just interject this, Charles Barkley's whole theme, moniker, if you will, was that he's not a role model, right? Charles Barkley, he didn't want to be anybody's role model. He's nasty. Oh, Charles Barkley spit on people, all crazy, throw people through glass at restaurants. So I say all that to say I can get past Ja Morant with the firearm and that grenade thing. Did he invent that grenade? I found that to be hilarious. Where he throws the thing like his grenade. Who invented that?
Well, when you had a conversation when it first happened, I called in during that show, and I told you that the first thing that came to my mind was this character in Mortal Kombat by the name of Stryker. He had a similar celebration. He would throw a grenade, kneel on his, he would crouch and he would close his ears. So I do not know if he got it from somebody, but that's what I thought about.
But in the NBA, John Morant was the first one I saw do that. I thought that was hilarious. Go ahead, you were saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, but Star, I have to push back on that because Charles Barkley, like him or not, his antics still remain within the confines of basketball. John Morant has taken it to something extra, and everybody knows about the gun violence. So this is the reason why they have to make sure that it doesn't spill over.
Okay,
you know what I mean? He is bringing Star. If you remember, he brought his entourage member. And one of his entourage members were pointing a laser beam on, I think, Indiana Pacers. And that's when the team said that they cannot have that. They were going to meet with Indiana, and one of his guys, he literally brought his shooters. One of his shooters had the beam pointing at an Indiana players, if I'm not mistaken. So they had to, check it. So yes, there is a difference between there is a difference between talking trash and then playing a gangster or something that you do not, you're not about that life, Just because you're from South Carolina, it doesn't mean that you live that. You come from a privileged home. You know what I mean? Also, yes, so to sum it up, I do not think that this will be a great fit because, yes, he's going to give them some points, but, they have another guard that they recently drafted pretty high named Scoot Anderson.
Okay.
If I'm Scoot Anderson, I'm pissed because I'm coming off the bench and now you're bringing this guy, this troublemaker. I want to be a starter, so it can cause friction, And in terms of LeBron, please, I want him to leave LA.
Oh my God!
But I think that nobody is afraid of him going to the Warriors. Him going to the Warriors, which will not happen because LeBron will not accept an extremely low discount. He's not going to go. $25 million for him is a discount. Mid-level exception means he will take $15.1 million. He will not go for that. Half of that will go to taxes. He will not. But in the event that he does, him, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and now recently Porzingis, Tingus Pingus.
Okay.
If they all come back and they run it back and they bring Anthony Davis, they're going to be the 2012 version of the Lakers. 2012 had, Dwight Howard with back injury problems.
Okay.
They had Steve Nash. They had Ron Artest, Pau Gasol, and Kobe Bryant.
Let me just jump in and say this. I hate to cut you short. I just need for you and Florida Boy Jay to assure me before you guys go that there's no chance of LeBron James coming to the New York Knicks. Florida Boy Jay, you first, please.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance LeBron is coming to the Knicks because the Knicks will rather miss the playoffs than have LeBron James come on that roster and usurp the energy that those guys have built without them. They don't want to share the spotlight with a nigga like LeBron James. My hope is that LeBron James comes back home.
But there's no chance financially that they would, make him an offer and he would accept. That's,
there is a chance.
No, they cannot afford him.
Yeah, they'll have to move some things around. But I can't say there's no chance. There's always a chance. But I think it's zero. I just don't believe that the New York Knicks are going to try to tinker with the core to get a LeBron James right now. LeBron James only has a good 2 years max left playing in the league.
2 years? You should have been out of here last year. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying nobody wants to finance their future, especially if they already gotten over the hump. A team like Miami, a team like Cleveland, somebody who's already in playoff contention that needs that piece to run points for their team, yes.
Right.
But for Warriors, no. For Knicks, no.
Okay. Boris?
Yes, sir. There is also no lure for him. There's no lure for LeBron to go to the Mecca, because Jalen Brunson has done what he was supposed to do. So what is he coming to New York for? He's always wanted to play with...
because he's a whore?
18.
He's a whore.
The perfect. Perhaps, but if he's going to be a whore, he would go to the Warriors, or he is going to go to retire in his home in Cleveland. He's not even going to go to Miami. He either stays in Lakers for the money, he goes back and he finishes his career with Cleveland, or he plays and he becomes a whore with Steph Curry, and it's going to be a retirement home over there. All the old guys, pushing 40.
Okay, guys, I got calls piling up here. Boris, I appreciate you. Florida Boy Jay, we good?
No problem. Take care.
Absolutely, man.
Okay, take care, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Uh-oh, here's the man I need to speak to. Peace, the Most High. How are you, sir?
Peace, God.
Please assure me that LeBron James will not come to the New York Knicks. Please.
Nah, he's not coming here. Never. He's never coming here. We don't need him. He shouldn't want to come here. He had his chance to be the savior. He didn't want to do it in 2010 when he took his little bum ass talents to South Beach and all that. So we don't need him in New York anymore. So right now, New York is going to either build on what they just accomplished and add pieces, or keep the team and his core together so that we can go make that run for next year, whatever the case is. So if he goes to, first of all, if he goes to Golden State, that's going to be the basketball equivalent of the movie Cocoon. So Don Amici, Wilford Brimley, all them old timers that's trying to get their groove back or whatever the case, unless they, and you know what I'm saying? There's no way. Nobody's going to be scared of a bunch of, past their prime, off injured, basketball team players anymore. Golden State pretty much is over with. Even if they trade Jimmy Butler, which I heard they're going to do to try to get AD back. To get AD to Golden State. AD's going to get hurt at the press conference. So there's no need to get him there. LeBron is on his last legs at 40, going on 41 or whatever, however old he is. He's going to be 42, actually, I think, this year on December 30th. So what can you really be expecting from him? He hasn't shown anybody that he can sustain greatness even at this age. He sits out a lot. Pause. He's the king of load management at this point. So there's absolutely positively the only person who's out more games than him is Joe. The only two players that are out more games than him consistently every year is Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard. So, and neither one of them are as old as LeBron. So his time is up. Literally, his time is up. So the Lakers would be smart to cut ties with him, build with whatever Luka has going on, Austin Reeves, Hachimura, and whoever else is young that has potential. So LeBron
and Bronny's going to. I don't want to get into a discussion about Bronny, but Bronny will be out the door as well. Yes. Well, LeBron.
Yeah, but he's probably LeBron is probably going to put it into a stipulation if he goes to another franchise that his son is going to come with him. I'm speculating, but he basically did that to the Lakers because supposedly he told teams to, don't even work Bronny out in the combine or whatever because he's coming with us.
Okay.
So long story short, LeBron's period. Wherever he goes, that's not going to be that's not going to move the needle and put that particular franchise or team in a position to win a championship. He's too old, and there's no team that can use him that he can fit in. He's paused in advance. He's a ball-dominant player who needs the ball in his hands, yes, and he's not who he used to be. So
can I interrupt?
What do you want to do?
Can I interrupt?
Excuse me?
Can I
Yes,
interrupt?
sir.
Ja Morant.
Yes, sir.
I like this crazy kid, and I hope he, I don't want to say straightens up because he just seems like a natural talent, if you will, and maybe it's just a matter of him finding the right team that allows, this silly stuff. But in your opinion, can he turn it around with Portland or what's going on with him in your opinion, Ja Morant?
I guess the idea is to get him far away from where he's been playing Memphis and whatever negative influences or whatever type of negative reputation that he's attained while he's been out there.
Okay.
So I'm not with Ja Morant. Like, I'm tired of the NBA young boy, NBA dumb boy culture going on in America with Black American dudes. You know what I'm saying? Too much focused on privilege and wanting to go viral and not taking things seriously. You know what I'm saying? These opportunities were coveted in the 70s and 80s and whatever, and now look what we got going on here. So it's a direct correlation between how young rappers and entertainers, black actors and entertainers conduct themselves, and how a lot of black athletes are conducting themselves as well too, which is not positive at all. So I don't want to sound like, oh, you just a OG unk and whatever. Listen, man, stop condoning this behavior, man. For real, for real. He between him and his pops, I don't know who acted worse in these situations. His pops acting a whole ass at the games, front court, he's not beating, I don't care how dusty Shannon Sharp is, he's not beating up Shannon Sharp. And I don't remember him pulling out no blickies. It's John Morant flashing guns or whatever the case is. So, the grenade, the grenade little celebration or taunt, that was clever. You know what I'm saying? That was a little amusing or whatever. I'm not with all the gun pointing on camera, off camera. Just play the game, do what you do, fulfill your potential. And let me be honest with you. If you send him to Portland, right? Portland is under a rebuild. No more Chauncey Billups and his scandal, right? You're dealing with Damian Lillard, who's a veteran, who's going to retire probably as one of the best players, if not the best player in Portland. Maybe they can have him go over there and be mentored by Damian Lillard and, salvage his career. Other than that, salute to Boris. He going to end up just like Stevie Franchise. Respect to Steve Francis, but that's an excellent analogy. They played similar. I think Steve Francis might have been a little bit better, but they're a very, very good comparison, Boris. Real talk.
Okay. I appreciate you, man. Anything with regards to Druski hosting the BET Awards? Or is that
I never watched the EBT Awards, Star. I might catch it on. I said EBT. That's right. I might catch it on a rebound just to see why everybody going crazy on boy or whatever. But it's not the American Music Awards. It's not the old Soul Train Awards. The class now with the class is no longer represented or not as heavily represented as it used to be in things that Black Americans are associated with in terms of music, entertainment, all that. So EBT Awards is not for me. Salute and always appreciate it, God.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. All right.
Peace.
The Most High, it's happening. Who's that on the screen? They don't have my contacts in. Ja's new sneakers are actually fire. No BS. Guys, my main topic, Druski became the youngest host in BET Awards history. I got no problem with that young man. He's funny, and I loved the skit that he did about African actors coming over here and playing foundational Black American roles. He nailed that. He nailed it, and I only saw some of the clips on YouTube. I have no interest in watching BET, but it is my main topic. As far as the awards go, album of the year, the clips, let God sort them out. Best female hip hop artist was Cardi B. Best female R&B pop artist Kehlani. Best male R&B pop artist Leon Thomas. Best actress Tiana Taylor. And the list goes on and on and on. The Pulse Award went to Druski. Living Legend Icon Award, Lauryn Hill. And the Ultimate Icon Award, Sylvia Rhone. Sylvia Rhone was very instrumental in my my record industry days. Very instrumental. Nice woman. We've had lunch and all sorts of things. Powerhouse, if you will. All right. I got more notes here, and I want to open up the floodgates for you guys to join in. Lizzo, her latest album has flopped. You guys up to speed? She's a very talented singer, but I want to play this so we can just possibly address what happened with Lizzo. Hold on. This is Sky News, and I thought that they gave a pretty good breakdown. For those who know, for those who care, Lizzo's new album, it's called Bitch, and it flopped. Here we go.
Now let's move on to Lizzo. Her new album has been a massive flop, selling less than 3,000 copies in its first week out. The album didn't even chart on the Billboard 200, Kinsey. Why is that? I mean, she's had enormous success. Why has this album flopped so badly?
So the marketing campaign for this album revolved around Lizzo taking to social media to complain about her record label's lack of a marketing campaign. I guess she was trying to create some conflict, but you can't guilt people into buying an album. The public doesn't owe any artist a hit. If the music connects, people will find it. If it doesn't, no amount of social media complaining or campaigning is going to change that. So I've seen conversations online that have said, you have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers. The conversation should have been hype about your music, not complaining about your record label. And I tend to agree. It sets the tone, and the tone is you're not as fun as you used to be.
Now, controversial looks maxing influencer Clavacula, I think I'm pronouncing that right. He's opened the 424 fashion show in Paris.
Okay, for those who didn't know, for those who care, so the legal issues with some of her backup dancers suing her and the issues with the label is what Lizzo is saying hurt the sales. I see it different. As you may or may not know, having worked in the record industry for a decade before I ever got to radio, there's certain formulas that you have to stick to when you do rollouts. You have to do radio and retail. Even though retail is different now, you have to make yourself available. And she wasn't, in my opinion, doing that. She was very standoffish, and she started doing this whole fat girl thing where she was flaunting her big ass in front of everybody. It turned me off. And I never purchased any of her music, but I was, familiar with her music. I remember when I was living down in the Woodstock, Georgia area, and I was in the gym, and Lizzo was on the radio. I found myself knowing some of the lyrics, and the music was good music. She plays the flute, so I respected the talent. What I'm trying to say is, sometimes you can become a victim of overexposure. And I think that's what happened to her. Too much on Instagram, the topic of her weight. It's like, my God, just stop trying to force your weight on me. Stop trying to make me accept, big women. Anybody want to comment on that, or is it not that deep? That's what I started to think and feel about her. I don't want to hear every time you're on social media, somebody's picking on you. So somebody's trying to bully you. Sometimes you have to go hide. There has to be some type of mystique about you. Again, there are formulas in the music industry. I know it's very different now. The rollouts, the 360 deals, and streaming, yada yada yada. But you got to hide out some time. Just, pull back. So just want to say that for anybody who cares. All right. Let's continue on. Got more notes here. If you're new to this show, I'm always prepared with notes. Up in New York City, I found this to be interesting. For those who may or may not know, they have a problem going on. You might be a little grossed out. Let me make sure the volume on this is good. Wait a second. Came out a couple of days ago. Mutating mice becoming a growing problem. Mutating, keyword, okay? Here we go.
Horror movie, but mutant mice are all too real. Researchers at Rutgers found mice here in the Northeast have evolved to survive common poisons. So what happens now when you call pest control? Eyewitness News anchor Michelle Charlesworth went to find out.
Mice have genetically changed, mutated. The poison isn't killing them anymore.
They show a much higher mutation frequency than we thought before.
Rutgers University studied mice from New York City, DC, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. How many have mutated in the cities? Most of them.
We found that about 70% of the mice populations contain mutations?
There have been some mice, some rats that were resistant to the poison. They lived to see another day. Then they were breeding, and then their babies also were the same poison-resistant mice. Is that right?
Yeah. So anytime we use, any product on any of the pests, we're putting a selection pressure on them.
Ian Williams studies all of this at Orkin and says something else might be going on too. We know mice have been mutating fast for about 5 years, which might not be random. Think COVID. We changed the way we were eating, ordering more takeout, more food garbage moved outside of homes than restaurants. Mice scattered and were exposed to more poisons.
And the bag of garbage that was put out every night for food for all the alley rats, it's not there anymore. So where did they go? And so some of this may be a result of that.
And are rats, like mice, also mutating?
They are smart, but we definitely have to become much more smarter than them.
What about good old-fashioned mouse traps or birth control?
Mouse traps work extremely well. It really comes down to placement.
And birth control?
Even if a rodent can't procreate, it can still spread disease.
Rutgers continues to study this, and it looks like we will be forced to do some changing too. In Soho, Michelle Charlesworth, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
How was the volume on that clip? It was a little low here on my end, but I'm open to discuss that if anybody wants to join the conversation. Area code 317. Good evening. Please watch the language. Are you there? 317.
Yes, sir. I am here, sir. Thank you.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Sitting there watching the show, and I wanted to talk about the Lizzo stuff.
Yeah, it's just my theory that overexposure and the weight constantly being thrown in my face and others kind of like turned us off, thus resulting in non-interest in her new music. What say you?
My opinion is, I was just sitting there telling my homegirl, I've been seeing Lizzo popping up everywhere, like in some random stuff.
Yeah.
But like nothing about her. Like you said, her rollout was terrible. Like I didn't know she had an album out. I was just seeing her, popping up doing random weird stuff. She didn't sit down and do any interviews. Like I was telling, like when the clips came out and the clip showed everybody how to do a rollout, I think perfectly. And she did none of that to let us know. I don't even know what there was a single out. Whatever the promo was, I just didn't know that she had an album out. But she was around, if that makes any sense. So I just blame the
makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. And I don't mean to cut you short, but yes, you see, those interviews are important. You can't, deny radio, the traditional avenue. You can't deny radio interviews because you don't want to discuss a lawsuit or you don't want to discuss something about some type of beef and or issue. If you're on social media doing too much, they're going to ask you, because the radio stations are not just playing music, but they're trying to get content as well.
Yeah, she could have sat down with the one guy and eat hot wings or something, and at least just she could have ate some hot wings and told us she had an album out, But I want to talk about that. And then the BET Awards, I thought the show was fire. I just thought Druski wasn't funny. I don't think Druski funny.
Okay.
But the show, Lauryn Hill marked it. The T.I. performance was still all right. Who else was that? Who else performed that was real good?
Take your time. Take your time. Jamie Foxx and his daughter.
It was a
Jamie Foxx.
It was a tribute for D'Angelo. The D'Angelo tribute. Yeah, yo. Whoever. Let me say this stuff. Whoever. There was a guy from the community that came out and he came out. He came with the little Kim pose on top of the table.
Okay. I didn't see it, sir. But can I ask you to please stop giggling, please?
Yeah. He came spread eagle on the table, but whatever song it was of D'Angelo. Oh, it was it's a cuss word song. I don't know if you know D'Angelo's catalog, but
please don't repeat it. So I don't want to do cursing. YouTube.
Yeah, it's the SDMF song.
Okay.
He sung the SDMF song. Okay, and he killed it. I just wanted to say that he killed it on that song.
Can I ask how old are you?
No.
How old are you?
I am 41.
Okay, so you appreciate BET, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but do you think that at this point in time, you know, the name needs to change? Black Entertainment Television. Just a random question.
I mean, at this point, I hear what you said, but it's been this way so long. I don't know if a rebrand is going to be wise.
Okay.
Maybe what they call like a branch off, something off of BET, kind of like how VH1 kind of changed their thing a little bit. Maybe they could do something like that, but I think you got to keep the BET after this long. But that's it. Okay. But I mean, I haven't watched I don't watch BET. It's just the BET. I just want to catch the BET Awards. That's about it.
Did you see the protest going on outside? We had a white guy out there talking about black parents or failures and all sorts of craziness. You have to speed. Jake Lang. Sir, can you please stop giggling, please? In the name of Jesus, please. No? Okay, he hung up.
No, I didn't hear about that, but that's crazy.
Okay.
But everybody, I'm not surprised.
I'm going to play the video right now. Good to talk to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's me. It's not you guys. I can't stand giggling on the phone with men. I had a couple of associates. I had to tell them, yo, stop calling me first thing in the morning giggling. Sheesh. Let me play the video in case you're not up to speed. Jake Lang. I'm going to have to edit this out because he got rocked on a few occasions. Where's that video? This was outside of the BET Awards.
Hey, how'd you get that apple butter out?
I had him on the run. Can you guys see one of his signs? Black parents are failures. He was attacking rap music, talking about everything with regards to the culture, you know, out there with the bullhorn. This is the guy who was just arrested for making threats to Carmelo Anthony. Let me finish up. Okay. Anybody up to speed? Anybody care? Jake Lang. Let me get that off the screen there. Okay. Yep. Yeah. He's on InfoWars doing his thing. You know. Thank you for your comment. Oh, here's the homie. Scotty, is that you tapping in? Salute.
What's going on with you? How you doing?
Yes, sir. Good to hear from you, man. Where do you want to start?
Oh man, I'm just crew man. I just can't. As soon as I tuned in, it was I tuned in the middle of the last caller, so I just heard something about Lizzo. But the reason I called in was about the whole Jake Lang thing.
Okay.
And I don't know too much about the Lizzo thing. Is she still a big girl or whatever? I don't know. I felt you on that. It just seemed like it was always around weight positivity. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, y'all doing too much on this.
She's talented.
No, but the Jake Lang thing.
She's super talented. Plays the flute. I get it. And again, some of her music from her debut album, I just, hey, but she was wearing me down with the whole weight thing every time she's on Instagram, and I don't know. I just wanted to play the video. Go ahead.
No, I agree. I agree with you on that because it's like, yo, you do have a talent. I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That should be the main focus.
Yep.
But it seems as if whoever's in her corner, her ear, her promoter, whatever, or a big agent, whatever that was, hey, man, let's push this.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It took away from what she could have been potentially with the talent with the flute.
Right.
Now, but the Jake Lane thing, the reason why this is extremely disturbing, and it's just another situation of Black Americans constantly being harassed and targeted as a specific group of people.
I agree.
Now, I would like to sit there and point out if he did this, if anyone did this same thing in the Jewish community, Jewish parents are failures.
Right.
That would have been, he would have been hit with a hate crime.
Yeah.
You got the Rick Child situation where they gunned a young rookie down 130 yards away, and he got off. You got the Carmelo Anthony situation. You have the young girl in Elyria, Ohio. Again,
come on.
She was slammed on her face, and the police officer put a knee on her neck, identical to George Floyd. Their brothers bum rushed him and got him in the office, got the officers off of her, and they got arrested. But my point of saying this all is, I'm seeing every week it's another buildup of somebody Caucasian going specifically after us. And I'm not seeing these politicians, and I ain't getting too political, but those vote blue no matter whoers. Where are the politicians? Where are the lawmakers? Where are the people to come out and say, look, this is not okay, because it is breeding more. Chud the Builder. It's breeding more and more people to do these things to us, when I can literally look at other groups of people. You better not do that with the Asians community.
Right.
You better not do that with the Jewish community. Heck, you can't even do that to the bag of Skittles community.
If I can jump in for a second, Scotty. So this guy, Jake Lang, he was, protesting on behalf of Chud the Builder. And that's where he got arrested, talking about, killing Carmelo Anthony. And by the time he got to the airport, they arrested him, in case you don't know.
I'm glad they did, but that still ain't enough, because I can look up. I'm not seeing punishment that's fitting to where I know, and other listeners know. You do that with other groups of people, you get far more harsh accountability.
That's a fact.
It's ended immediately, and they make sure you will not, and nobody better not follow that. But when it comes, and also the federal statistics, we Black folks, Black Americans are still the #1 most attacked group. That's the feds. So when they say we do have a hate crime, I'm like, well, if we got a hate crime, it darn sure is not enforced.
Yeah.
Look at how we the #1 at the top, but yet I keep seeing stop anti-Jewish hate. I'm like, don't nobody mess with y'all.
Yeah.
They know not to mess with y'all.
Yeah.
But that Jake Lane really bothered me, man, because I'm just seeing more and more and more people constantly coming out, and it's being pushed and promoted.
If I can add this and champion what you've just said, I don't condone violence, but I kind of understand why they were so heated with him being out there with those signs talking about Black parents or failure. It's like you're going after low-hanging fruit. If you want to really get at somebody, then go at some of the corporations that are the ones who distribute, and that sort of stuff, as opposed to people going to have a celebration. Even if, we don't watch BET, even if it doesn't necessarily suit our taste, that's not the place for you to be out there protesting. Go ahead, Scotty.
Right. I haven't watched BT. I didn't even know the thing was even on. I haven't watched BT. I'm 41. I'll be 42 this year. I think the last time I really watched BT, I probably was 2001, 2000. I was still in high school, man.
Yeah. BET Uncut.
I wasn't gonna go there, but yes, yes. So
Lord Jesus.
I don't watch it, man. So I didn't even know that was going on. I saw some stuff today on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I didn't know Druski and them had to be. That's how much attention I paid.
He did a good job.
But
he did a good job as a host, as a young man. He did a good job.
Salute to him. You see how he first started into where he's at now.
Yeah.
Salute to him, and I'm also happy that that British skit of the British actors, that still, that was.
Yep.
But to land my plane, these things have to come to an end, and it must stop, because we need to everyone listening to my voice, go on Stats and Statistics and look at who's the #1 leader in the United States soil and who are the biggest leader in rapists. Grapists. I don't want to demonetize stuff. Grapes. Look at the #1 in child pedophilia. Look at the
easy, Scotty. Easy with the language. Easy now. Easy.
Oh, I'm sorry. My PDF. Look up who the #1 group is who do the most. These Caucasian teachers. Every week I look up, it's another Caucasian teacher getting caught with another student. I'm like, wow. Incest. The largest group of welfare recipients outside of Elon Musk and all that United States federal aid he's receiving is a small white town in Kentucky. I forgot the name of that town that's in Kentucky, but it's like 97% white folks that are all on they're all on like food stamps and welfare.
Okay.
So when he sit there and say, black culture, parents is a failure and things like that, hey, my man, stay in your lane and call out your people, because every time I look up, y'all the ones doing some crazy stuff and throwing it on us to try to say, hey, look at them, while y'all the one doing it. There I look at the Catholic Church. I land my plane.
Hey, man, great to hear from you, Scotty. Salute.
You enjoy.
Yes, sir. Hey there, area code 812. Please watch the language. Good evening. Are you there? 812?
Yo, Star, was good.
Hey, yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Yo, I think Druski did his thing at the BET Awards, man. He's a funny dude, man.
Yeah.
He's real funny, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if he didn't host it, I wouldn't have watched it. I mean, he's the reason that people watched it. You know what I mean? He's spitting the truth, man.
I mean, the internet generation really moves the tide now. You know what I'm saying? And I just, I haven't seen anything from him that would turn me off, so to speak. So I'm happy for him. But again, I don't know his full body of work. Does he do stand-up comedy? He seemed very comfortable on the stage. Do you know?
I don't think so. I think he just does, the internet, the little skits.
Okay.
Reels, yep.
Okay. What state you calling from, sir? Yeah. What state you calling from?
Indiana, underhanded Indiana, 80 you already know.
Okay.
Yeah. I do my thing too, man. I got comedy skits. I'm doing my thing. 80 on underhanded Indiana. Look it up. You know what I'm saying? But
can you send me a link? Send me a link and let me see what you're working with. Pause.
For sure. I wonder if Janet Jackson washed the Tupac shirt 5 times before she wore it,
You remember that back in the days when
yeah, bro.
Her team asked him to get an AIDS test. That was crazy.
Yeah, I lived through that. And then she hooked up with Jermaine Dupri. Like, what? Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Up in Atlanta, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on John Morant, sir, being traded to the Portland Trail Blazers, or do you not care? John Morant.
Oh man, he up in Portland, oh man, that's crazy, you know what I mean? But he gonna make it do what it do, you know what I mean? I
think so.
It's gonna mature him, you know what I mean? They got him out there, and
I hope he gets sillier. I hope he gets sillier.
No, I don't think Portland gonna allow that. They'll trade him off. You know what I mean? I'm up.
When is the last time Portland won an NBA championship? I'll Google it. Go ahead. Hold on a second.
Man, I don't think they ever won one.
Oh no! They got one with Bill Walton. Was it Bill Walton? Hold on a second. Go ahead. You have the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah. The Indiana Pacers, they out there just drafting, they might as well call themselves the Indiana Pale Pacers, because they only draft, pale skin. That's what they do here in Indiana, man. They stay not drafting no melanated brothers. You know what I mean?
1977, the Portland Trail Blazers, led by Finals MVP Bill Walton. I'm old, sir. I remember that. I remember
Oh
that.
wow.
Yeah.
No, I was 1 year old then. I was going on one. You know what I mean? But yeah. Yep. That's what's up. But yeah, man. Yeah, I did a skit called the Skin Bleaching Cream.
Well, sir, you have to send us a link, sir. We're not just gonna let you do no promoting if you're not donating to the machine, respectfully, okay?
For sure, man. I donated. You know, I did the Jay-Z diss. You know what I mean? I got the Jay-Z hatred.
Right.
I'm the one that got the Jay-Z hatred set up.
Right. Well,
I'm the one who I seen it coming, bro. I seen it coming, man. I'm a foreseer, man. I'll be seeing the future, bro.
Okay.
80 on Underhanded Indiana. I'll be seeing the future, man. I knew the Jay-Z.
Send me an email. Hold on. Send me an email with your skits. I'll take a look at it. Make sure you send it with the donation. I'll get to it tomorrow.
For sure. Okay, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Salute. Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.